Education technology is essential to good schools, according to New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin, and good schools are essential to attracting citizens back to his flood-ravaged city. On the eve of Katrina's first anniversary, Mayor Nagin spoke with eSchool News TV.
What kinds of technology do you think New Orleans schools might need?
I think for today's kids, technology is so critical. They embrace it very easily and they use it on a regular basis. As far as the role it's going to play, it's going to be the thing that's going to make the difference in New Orleans and probably around the country. I have seen different aspects, whether they have wireless PCs that they use at home, and when they get within 2 blocks of the school, it automatically changes over to the school's network where teachers and parents can interact in unique ways. I just see technology driving the education process to new heights.
What do you think the relationship is between reestablishing functioning good schools and repopulating the city?
I think it's a direct correlation. We have good schools throughout the city, whereas prior to Katrina, our school system was not in very good shape. But if we can repopulate the city and have a core of 20 to 40, maybe 50 high-quality schools throughout the city, I think the repopulation is going to accelerate.
How's the school recovery funding coming? Are you getting the money that's been scheduled from the federal government?
It's my understanding that the federal government has allocated a lot of the dollars associated with the recovery, and it's flowing through the state. Now, whether it's actually flowing efficiently from the feds to the state to the local schools, that's still a question mark, and that's something we're going to find out this fall as a lot of the schools open.
Okay. At one point, at least, you had city-run schools, you had state-run schools, you had independent charter schools, you had parochial schools. Does this variety of different school management operations make it more difficult to restore the education here?
I think in the short term it's okay, but I think in the medium to long term, we're going to have to come up with one centralized governance system that manages all 3 aspects, or all 4 aspects of our education requirement. Because at some point in time, you're going to have someone driving the quality of education and making sure that it's consistent through all those disciplines.
You're here to meet with some companies that are bringing some guidance and so on. Can you comment on Terry Smithson? He's the leader of the Intel Coalition here. And any comments on the efforts of these companies? Well,
God bless Terry and everything that he's doing to bring some of the best companies from around the country and some of the best minds, educational minds, to help us to figure out this educational challenge. I think I just mentioned in there, speaking before the group, that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to kind of, repaint the canvas, if you will, and do something special. So my hat's off to him. I don't think we could really get our act together without some outside resources coming to the table, especially some of the talent that we've brought.
The occasion for Mayor Nagin's meeting with eSchool News was a 2-day conference for New Orleans educators organized by the Hurricane Education Leadership Project, HELP, a consortium of more than 30 edtech companies, associations, and foundations. The purpose of the conference was to introduce New Orleans educators to the possibilities of the 21st century learning environment. Terrible as Katrina and its aftermath were, said the mayor, the devastation also represents a unique opportunity to rebuild the city's schools with state-of-the-art technology and give a fresh start to the children of New Orleans. Mayor Nagin kicked off the conference.
Touching on a couple of high points as it relates to the recovery. I'm amazed that we are where we are today with the lack of resources that we have. If I were to tell you, if I were to tell myself, that 11 months ago we would have to run this city with 25% of our pre-Katrina budget and a $1.3 million emergency grant from the state, you guys probably would have said, nah, Mr. Mayor, there's no way. But that's what we've had to do. And in spite of that limited resources that have been flowing to the city of New Orleans, we are ahead of schedule. Now, there's still lots of work to be done, but we're way ahead of schedule as far as I'm concerned. All the experts are now saying we have 250,000 people in the city of New Orleans and climbing. The prognosticators many months ago were saying that we may get to 150,000 people. The economy is starting to show some signs of coming back. Pre-Katrina sales tax revenues are hovering anywhere between 65% of pre-Katrina values on a monthly basis to as high as 80% earlier this year. This is probably one of the biggest highlights of my life, to be involved in this turnaround and this rebuilding of this wonderful city. So I want to thank those that voted for me, and everybody who didn't vote for me, I'm praying for you. It's okay. And it's amazing after the election how everybody comes up to you and says, man, I supported you 120%. You know, y'all lying. But it's okay. I am encouraged. It's hard. And I think over the next 6 months are going to be tough. We're going to have some tough work to do. And the pioneers are going to stay. And some people that can't handle this kind of work are probably going to leave. And we probably will attract more people back to the city. And some people who have never been to the city before. And they're going to come here and they're going to fall in love. But at the crust of what we're doing, at the essence of what we're doing, if we rebuild this city and we take care of our children, we're going to be okay. In Africa, you know, there's certain sections of Africa where when they greet you, they don't ask you how you're doing. They say, how are the children? Because if they know that if you say the children are okay, then you must be okay also. So ladies and gentlemen, I ask you this morning, how are the children? God bless you. Thank you.